This is China, this is me. When I was 15 months old, I was adopted and brought to live in America. Even though my parents are American and Filipino, they value my Chinese heritage. This always led me to think, am I American or am I also Chinese? I get asked these questions whenever people find out that I'm adopted. The answer is I really don't know. There's just so many variables that go into adoption, like cost. It's expensive. Parents. Are there suitable parents for a child? Have the birth parents given consent? Medical history. Are there certain developmental or behavioral conditions that require extra care or attention? Is this child legal? Were they taken away from their country wrongfully or unethically? Compatibility. Are the parents and child going to get along? Will they thrive in their new environment? Is the future for this child stable? While many of the factors differ for each child, let's look at the facts. From the 250,000 children adopted from 1999 to 2013, 62% were girls and 38% boys. Along the same demographic, a little less than half of the children were under a year old, while 36% were about 1 to 2 years old. 20% of the children were ages 3 and up. While these are just numbers, the main focus is on the child. Like biological children, each child is unique in their needs and environment. Regardless of the variable factors, if a child is adopted into a loving environment, they have just as much support to succeed in life than what they didn't have before.
Children are not able to truly understand the process of adoption, so parents must find the ideal time to tell their children about their adoption status. Parents are often advised by their adoption workers to introduce the word adoption as early as possible, between the ages of 2 and 4, so that it can be integrated into the child's vocabulary. Experts will say that children adopted before the age of 2, who are the same race as the adoptive parents, can wait until they are 4 to 5 years old to be spoken to about their adoption status. Although he agrees with the child's inability to understand the adoption process, Dr. Stephen Nickman believes the ideal time to talk about a child's adoption is between the ages of 6 and 8. By that time, he says, they usually feel established enough in their family not to feel threatened by learning about the adoption. Dr. Nickman believes that preschool children still have fears about the loss of their parents and their love, and that telling them at that time is too risky. Waiting until adolescence to reveal a child's adoption to him or her is not recommended. Disclosure at that time can be devastating to the child's self-esteem, Dr. Nick. With children who are a different race than their adoptive parents, they need to be told earlier that they are adopted. Children are observant and they will be cognizant that they possess different physical features than their adoptive parents. It is important to explain to them that the birth process is the same for everyone, but different cultures and ethnicities have distinguishing physical features. In addition, with older children who have been adopted, they may have trouble bonding after the crucial period of trust versus mistrust and their placement with multiple caretakers over time. Adoptive parents will have to work harder to nurture these children. When adopting children from different cultural backgrounds, it is important that the adoptive parents learn about attachment behaviors in those cultures. A family who adopted a 7-month-old baby from Asia noticed that when the baby cried, she could not be comforted by being held. She would only quiet down if she were laid on the floor near her mother and spoken to softly. Once she became calmer, she would crawl into her mother's lap for a hug. A family adopted a baby from Peru. He needed to sleep with an adult for the first few months following his adoption every night. His new crib went unused until he was 15 months old, when his parents were able to help him to adjust to sleeping alone. All adoptive children will likely have issues or questions at some point in their lives, but foreign, biracial, and other cross-cultural adoptees, as well as teenagers with physical or emotional disabilities, will have additional challenges. They may suffer more from what Erik Erikson calls identity diffusion when searching for their true self. They may feel lost or alienated, and they may also seem more angry at their adoptive parents and more crucial of what the parents did or did not do to help them to adjust to their adoptive status. Children suffering from identity diffusion may withdraw more into themselves or feel that they need to set off to see the world in hopes of finding their true identity.
Psychological issues with cross-cultural adoption. There can be many different emotions while dealing with cross-cultural adoption. They can include anxiety, fear, anger, or rejection. Anger from rejection, fear of the unknown, or anxiety from being uprooted from their home. While many cross-cultural adoptions occur from countries suffering through political or environmental turmoil, some children, especially the older ones, can finally feel relief, comfort, love, and acceptance. These emotions can vary during a child's development and time with their new family. Different factors go into how a child feels during adoption. Culture shock deals with the child having to learn and comprehend different languages, religions, and customs. Typically, children who are orphaned are not financially backed, so even the process of being adopted means a jump in socioeconomic status. Also, if a child has gone through tragedy or abuse, this can reflect on their mood and behavior with their new family. Cross-cultural adoption is a relatively new phenomenon and has resulted from political and environmental events in the 20th and 21st century. The Korean War led to many orphan children, as well as China's one-child policy that caused many infant girls to be abandoned in favor of boys, who held the name and honor for their family. The fall of the Soviet Union in the early 90s was also a catalyst for cross-cultural adoption, as well as the recent earthquake in Haiti. These two women are examples of cross-cultural adoption from Russia and China. This shows that no two stories are alike, and each child goes through unique experiences. Some know their family history, and some do not. Some hold on to their culture, and some embrace the new. Either way, in both cases, their adoptions have become a central part of their character. Cross-cultural adoption has created awareness due to its portrayal in the media, especially celebrity figures. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have adopted 3 children, each from different countries. Maddox, the oldest, was born in Cambodia. Pax, the second boy, was born in Vietnam. Zahara, the couple's first child, was born in Ethiopia and suffered malnutrition when she was adopted.